Hey guys, my name is Paul, and I just wanted to do a quick video talking about some of the routing capabilities on the SSL SiX. Routing is one of the coolest parts of the SSL, but I personally mostly have done videos on the channel strip and using external gear and stuff like that. So I wanted to talk a bit about routing because I've been using it a lot as I make cassettes and make CDs and just like do a lot, want to like route through different interfaces and to different ways of exporting essentially. So yeah, I think routing has been on my mind recently, and I want to just kind of dive into how the SSL helps me and also the inadequacies of the user guide, I guess, as I like looked through there and noticed very few good examples of how to use the routing, I guess, but I guess that's my job, isn't it? So first off, I want to just talk about each component as a whole. So the first thing is main outputs. That's this button right here. We'll send everything to main. So main is fun because it has two XLR outs on the back as well as two line outs on the back. So, pretty versatile, and you can use it to listen to stuff. Currently, I have mine routed to my interface, which is a really classic way of doing it, because then you record it into your interface, whatever's going on in your SSL. Second thing I want to talk about is Bus B. Bus B is really cool, and the user guide really doesn't show good ways to use this, but pretty much turns the SSL SiX into two mixers, because you can just plug in another interface out there and like run it back into one of these channels, and then you could pretty much have like two interfaces running through here, which I've been doing frequently and want to do a video about pretty soon. But it also allows you to do really creative routing using these mute buttons. So you're able to pretty much use a second bus, and you could put external gear here or something and then like route that back into your interface, or you can do a lot of cool stuff that I haven't experimented with that quite yet, but something I do want to do. The last thing to talk about is alt monitor. Alt monitor, in the user guide it says that this is, you plug in other monitors to it, but I don't really like it for that. I like it for just using it as an alt out that you can send shit around. You can just like start spinning shit around in your SSL, because you can alt monitor stuff, use your bus B, use your main monitor, and I'm going to talk about what spinning stuff around means a little bit more right now. The next thing to look at is how I have my SSL SiX routed right now. So first off, I got bus B going to my cassette deck because I've been making cassettes of music for people, as I do that as a service. And then I have my alt actually going to my reel-to-reel because I've been doing some mastering there, and also just I just set up my reel-to-reel, so I've just been doing some slight experimenting on what that means when I send music to it and music out, what it means. The last thing is, the main of my SSL is going directly into my interface, and then coming back into my interface through 5.6 actually. Once I had this, I will show it to you right here. These two are coming from my interface, and then these two are actually coming back in from my reel-to-reel. So that's allowing me to, I could send music directly from my interface into my SSL SiX and then out to my reel-to-reel through the alt output. So I just click the alt button and then it would work for me. So I'm gonna actually, I just talked about one use case, but now I'm talking about like kind of scenarios as we, talk about the viability of using these outputs creatively. So, these are all like medias that you could actually use as external audio inputs as well. So that's one of the first scenarios to talk about is, this reel-to-reel. It's fun you can hit all out and then back in 3/4 to the SSL, and or directly back into your interface, and then you'll be able to kind of see what's going on. Use the reel-to-reel as an external instrument. That routing that I have it right now isn't perfect for that. You do have to do a little shifting around to get there, but that is like a really great tool, is recording samples onto there, recording them back into your interface, either in real time or recording them directly onto the tape. The Akai 4000D that I have allows you to like monitor the tape right after you record it, which I think most reel-to-reels let you do, but I really have no idea. Yeah, I'm new to that world. So the next scenario to talk about is actually, just making a cassette. How I have it set up, making a cassette is really easy. I can just send music into the SSL through my interface, through the 5/6. And then I can just hit bus B, turn bus B on, and then turn bus B on that fader on. And then that will be sending it to my cassette deck for me to record cassettes. And then if I need to listen back, I usually plug it back in. But I usually have a different rig in the other room for actually listening back, so I don't really need that. Another scenario, if I want to make a cassette from the reel-to-reel, I can actually go in, this one's actually coming in from the reel-to-reel, and then I can just bus B, play the reel, and then it'll record to my cassette without having to like unplug or plug anything. Another thing is, if I want to make a reel, I can turn this on and then just alt into my reel-to-reel, and then the audio is going straight from the alt into my reel, so I can record a reel and then it'll come back to me. So this is a more like creative workflow to use the alt outputs and the bus. Versus I think what is proposed in the user guide. This is also more like utilitarian kind of way, where like if you have other things that you want to be, if you have a ton of stuff you want to be sending audio to, the SSL is a great way to, you can send duplicate sources. It's easy to control like where you're sending audio. You have 2 buses, so you can use that really creatively. You can literally run bus B into like a fat reverb, and then be like creating samples via Ableton just by hitting bus B, run a sample through the SSL, record it back through the main outputs, and then you got some crazy reverbed out samples. But and then you just hit back on main, and then you're back on everything's regular. So bus B, it's a dynamic thing that can, depending on your creativity level and maybe how many ideas you have, I think it's a great way to utilize gear and have like a very dynamic setup. Obviously, it would be better to have everything like plugged up and mapped like at one time with like a massive interface, or like a massive console, or even a console that is bigger than this. But this is mostly for if you have the SSL and you want to utilize it more or better for some of the things you want to scale into. This is what you can do. Thanks for watching. Bye.